Welcome back. It is week 7 NFL recap for Just a Bet Outside, and we had another winning week. And let me tell you, we feel pretty good about it. That's for sure. We went 4-2 on the podcast bets, went up over 2 units. Overall, for the week, we went 6-4, won 2.1 units, and we are now up over 5 units for the year. So we are pumped. The NFL is so unpredictable. So for us to be up over 5 units, we'll take it, but we want to get better. So hope you're tailing some of those picks. We're gonna go over some of those bets, and then we're gonna go over this crazy week 7. And I got a few things to just vent about a little bit today. So you're just gonna have to sit and listen, and maybe you have some comments on what I'm about to say, but we'll get to that point. But anyways, we're gonna have a World Series preview video coming in the next couple days. Our first baseball podcast. Got a couple buddies coming on. It's gonna be fun times. We're gonna debate the Astros and Phillies World Series, so that'll be fun. Stay tuned for that. And also got an NBA Week 1 recap about what we've seen so far, what we've learned, and go over some storylines. So lots of stuff coming. This is a great time in the sports here. Football, World Series, basketball, everything you need, we got it. So anyways, with that, let's go to the bets recap page. Let's see how we did. We started out with a little Giants money line for that was a sweat. But we won, and it's plus 135, so we can't argue with that. That's a good win. The Falcons plus 6.5. That was also not a sweat. That really wasn't a sweat. They got just absolutely crushed. I mean, it was ugly. So we go from there to the Seahawks plus 5.5. They won outright. And we're going to talk about our Seahawks. You better believe we're going to talk about our Seahawks today because they are something special right now. Let me tell you. Let's go to my bets. We got a Raiders team total over 26.5. Easy cash. Didn't look great at halftime, but we got there. The second one, over 50 for the Hawks and Chargers game. Not really that sweaty. The Seahawks kind of took care of most of that themselves, so that was nice. And the Colts money line. I'm just done with the word Colts. They're dead to me. I'm done betting them, and they piss me off, and they suck every time I bet them. So, anyways, there's that. The two IG bets, little Instagram bets. We went one-on-one on Thursday night, as we already talked about, and we did another one-on-one on Sunday night. If you guys watched that video that Ryan put out there, we missed Chase Claypool by 2 yards. That's right, just 2 freaking yards, and we would have had a clean sweep Sunday night. But other than that, it was a good week. I think we'll take it. We'll take a winning week every week. Am I right, Ryan?
Oh, I'll take a winning week every week. Yep, love it.
That's right. Yep, and we're still mad about our losses because that's how much we care about it. So I'm going to go over some venting. I have to get some things off my chest because it just makes no sense. I'm going to start with the Packers for a second, not just in their game today and they lost to the Commanders. Please, somebody explain to me what they are doing and why any front office members why they still have jobs in Green Bay. In the 2020 draft, their first and second round picks, we've talked about this before, Jordan Love and AJ Dillon. Why in the world? And nobody understood it then. You still have Aaron Rodgers. They knew he had many years to go. They maybe thought he was leaving. That's it. Do you waste a first round pick or do you just try to get Aaron Rodgers? And then they go AJ Dillon in the second round. All right, first of all, Jordan Love is just useless now, right? Like by the time he's ready for a contract, he will barely play. AJ Dillon has 20 carries in the last 3 games. The guy is a monster. And I know their O-line is not the same as it was. He's a monster. What in the world are they even doing? At least take a shot at some defenders or some, I don't know. What do you think, Ryan? Wide receivers, maybe? That might help. Just something because
some
it
wide
is
receivers
pathetic.
would help. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pathetic. They knew they had Aaron Jones. They knew they had Aaron Rodgers. And they go out and draft Dillon and Jordan Love. And you know what? They could use those picks right now. And so I just don't understand it. Green Bay's been lucky to have Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and they still won, 2 titles in like 40 years with those 2 guys? I mean, it's because they just don't know what they're doing there. Like, they seem like they have everything under control because they hit on the elite quarterback. That's all they do, though. They are struggling other than that. And I just don't understand it. Can you explain anything to me, Ryan? Because I don't know what they're doing there.
I think what happens is the team's not as good, or at least for this year, I want to talk about. So they're not as good. They get down, and they can't run the ball a whole bunch with AJ Dillon. So they're losing some of those carries. They're not completing first downs or going 3 and out and things like that. So that hurts a running back anytime that happens. So they're just not staying consistent, not staying on the field. So I think AJ Dillon, like you said, is a monster and would have a much better season, but they're getting down. Aaron Rodgers doesn't trust his offensive line. He doesn't trust his receivers. I was watching some Sunday Night Football, and they're talking about how Sammy Watkins on one play was running down the field wide open, no one near him, and Aaron Rodgers took a check down for 7 yards. And I think he even threw an incomplete on that. And his pocket looked okay. He just kind of got happy feet and then just got rid of the ball because he's just not trusting what he's seeing down the field. He's trusting what he sees defensively down the field, but he's not sure what his receivers are going to do. And I think that's killing him. And he doesn't want to throw picks. So he's just like, dunk it down. Dunk it down. So I think that's that. And then, then you waste AJ Dillon because you're going, 3 and out, 1 first down, and then you're punting. When you're punting all the time, it's not good.
No, and that all makes sense. And we've seen it with Russ, like when he was at the Seahawks, and he didn't trust his O-line. Even when he did have a pocket, he was a mess because he didn't trust them. And Aaron does get pissed all game long at his receivers at the O-line. You see him yelling at them. So it does make sense. It's just a weird dynamic right now in Green Bay. They do not have a good offense. It's not coming back. They do not have a good offense. A.J. Dillon is a beast. We talked about it before the year. Aaron Jones is a beast. They both need to be touching the ball a lot, and they are still like throwing the ball 40 to 50 times some games. And it's not because they're way behind. This game was close with the Commanders the whole game. They were ahead at the beginning. And so somehow they're just not getting a lot of carries. They're not getting the rhythm of the game. I'm surprised A.J. Dillon's not pissed off with how much he gets to play, but he needs to be a number one guy on a team that actually wants to use him. That's my rant on the Packers. I hate the Packers, so I'm not losing sleep over them sucking. But I just wanted to say it made no sense. That's all. So I had one more thing before we get into these games. The NFL is all about parity right now, am I right? Yep. But it's really not, because we know who the Super Bowl is going to be between. There is an upper echelon of teams this year, and then everybody else. And everybody else has flaws. Way more flaws than the upper echelon. To me, after seeing this for 7 weeks, it's the Bills and Chiefs in the AFC, and that's it. And I mean it 100%. That is it. There is a 0% chance that these two teams are not playing for the AFC title. They are absolutely going to be playing to go to the Super Bowl. The other teams, best teams in the AFC, are the Jets, Dolphins, Ravens, Bengals. They don't have a shot. I'm telling you right now. So we can already lock in the Bills and Chiefs. I don't mean to make that boring or anything, but that's just what it is. Okay. Do you agree with that first part?
I would like to say yes, but it's the NFL and something always weird happens in the playoffs.
No.
I don't see, I want to see it, but I don't envision an AFC championship between the Bills and Chiefs. Something weird is going to happen, and an injury, big time injury, bad timing, fumble, batted ball, something like that. It always happens, and you find a wild card team that sneaks into this championship game, and you're saying like, what are they doing there? So I don't see it. Once in a while we get it, but I don't know if I see it. I agree. I completely agree with you and what you're saying. Okay. But as far as what's going to happen come that day for the AFC championship game, I don't think it's going to be both them too.
You don't think it's going to be them too?
No, it's just not going to happen. They should be.
No. You need to stop drinking so late at night, because it's a guaranteed fact it's the Bills and Chiefs. First of all, they're guaranteed to be the 1 and 2 seeds.
Yes,
that alone right there is gonna make them meet. The only team I can even see having a slight chance is maybe the Dolphins get really lucky. If they can get Tua and that machine rolling, their defense is okay. Or if the Bengals find their magic again from last year. But I mean, these are big ifs. The Bills and Chiefs are head and shoulders above everybody in the AFC. You go to the NFC, this is wild in the NFC. We knew it was wide open this year. We talked about it in our preview video. It is the Eagles and only the Eagles, okay? If you take away the NFC East, which, by the way, we all thought was going to be terrible, there are 3 teams that are well over 500 in the NFC East, okay? If we take out that division, the NFC East, the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants division, guess how many teams in the entire NFC are over 500? Take
2?
a guess.
Is it 2? I'm just guessing without looking. Yes.
You're correct. Just 2. I mean, it's ugly. And you know who those 2 are? Name those 2.
The Vikings and Seahawks?
You are absolutely correct.
Yes.
What in the
genius
absolute hell is happening in the NFC or in the NFL? So AFC is top loaded. It's Bills and Chiefs, and they're going to be playing the Eagles. I can see someone maybe getting lucky to beat the Eagles, but here's why I just don't see the Eagles losing in the playoffs. Because they have the offensive and defensive lines. They have the things you need to prevent all the unlucky things from happening. And so they are so loaded on their line of scrimmage and in the DB and their quarterback and run. They are a well-oiled machine that can beat you different ways. They don't have one way. They can beat you different ways. There's nobody out there unless the Cowboys can really get rolling. Their offense looks horrendous, by the way, the
Oh yeah.
Cowboys. Defense, great. Offense, horrendous. And you have all these teams. The Vikings, you're no way are you trusting Kirk Cousins to go all the way to Super Bowl. You know it, and I know it. We don't need to
No.
have that talk again.
And they already got
And the
spanked by the Eagles, so there's that.
correct, correct. Everything's going to go through Philly to get to the Super Bowl. The Giants are 5-1, 6-1, 6-1 now.
Yeah.
You know, we all know we're not trusting Daniel Jones. You know, in the playoffs, they'll make sure they stop Saquon and make Daniel Jones beat him. So, anyways, long story short, I am 95% sure the Bills or the Chiefs will be playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And I know it's early, but we've never seen so many teams that have so many flaws. And that's what makes betting the NFL this year. And if you listen to handicappers, other podcasters, it is hard to bet the NFL because there are so many inconsistent teams. We talked about this before we this video. You just can't trust them. Like you got their teams like the Ravens, the Colts, the Dolphins. Like you don't know what you're going to get out of them. You just have no idea. The Dolphins scored 0 points in the second half tonight, by the way. So things like that, you just don't know what's going to happen. Bills or Chiefs versus the Eagles, lock it in. I'm more confident about the Bills and Chiefs part. You never know in the NFC, but that's where I feel. That's what I just know it. That's just what's happening. I don't mean to ruin the whole season for everybody, but that's what's happening.
It's just ruined the whole season. We don't got to watch football anymore. It's not any given Sunday. This is what's going to happen.
No. Yep, exactly.
Love it.
I can't see I can see the Eagles maybe being beat by somebody I did mention 17-0, by the way. They're still heading in that direction. I just want to be clear. Here we go. First game, the bet. Giants at Jags. Giants money line. Ryan hit a plus 135 bet. How'd you feel about the ending of that one, Ryan?
Ooh, man, that was scary. The Jags coming down to the wire. Looks like they're going to throw a touchdown pass, and somehow the Giants stop them basically at the 1 or 2 yard line. I was really afraid some big offensive lineman guy was going to push them in so that the Jaguars score and steal my bet, but didn't happen. I lucked out. Daniel Jones did what he's been doing, not turning the ball over, tucking the ball, running, making some plays with his feet, doing what he needs to do, handing the ball to Barkley. Got a W. Like I was saying, it wasn't a great matchup. Just went with my gut, and they figured out a way to win again.
You are correct. And you know what I'm starting to believe? And I always make fun of the Giants every week. Like, how do they keep winning? They can't keep doing this. What they're doing is what most teams aren't doing, and they're just making the other team make mistakes. And they're not making the mistakes themselves and just running the ball, playing defense, and making the other team like say, hey, if you want to beat us, you have to earn it because we're not going to turn the ball over 4 times a game. We're not going to kill ourselves with a million penalties. And it's working. It's going to get them a good record. It's going to get them into the playoffs if they keep this up. You can't win every close game, but that's what they've been doing. So I am impressed by what they have going on. The Jags, on the other hand, have lost 4 in a row since their beatdown of the Chargers that they put out there. They're toast. They're just too inconsistent.
Yeah, we put them on our powder ranking, and they haven't won since. That was smart of us.
I know. Yeah,
we look like geniuses.
So, anyways.
Right there.
Yeah, another good win by the Giants. The Giants, I believe, play the Seahawks next week, by the way.
Yep.
And that's going to be a good one. A telling to see, who's ready to take the next step a little bit. So that's where we're at. So Giants, Jags, good win by the Giants. Jags are toast. Falcons at Bengals. Ryan, I'll let you take this one with your plus, what was it, 5.5, 6.5 that you had on the Falcons? Does it matter? Did you have 16.5? It didn't matter. So go for it.
Man, that was rough. It got out quick. It was like 14-0. I was like, oh my gosh, there's no chance. And then the Falcons kind of made a run at it. And then at halftime, they crept back in, kicked a field goal, and I was like, okay, Jamar Chase went down with some sort of injury. Hopefully he's all right and can play next week and things like that. I was like, okay, we're okay. Settle the storm a little bit. We'll be fine. They keep battling. No, wasn't the case. Bengals came out hot in the second half as well, and the Falcons did nothing the rest of the half, and got smoked on that one. So, yeah, took a big old L on that one for me.
The Falcons were, they were toast. I mean, the Falcons are, they've been playing with house money a little bit. They covered the spread every week until the week that we start betting them, right? That's how it works. AJ Terrell, one of the top corners in the league, he left in the first quarter with a hammy injury. That didn't help. They're already down a DB. I mean, when you're playing Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd had a big game. You got no chance. They had no chance to stop him. Burrow had 481 passing yards. I mean, that's just it was ugly from start to finish. We don't need to talk about it. Are the Bengals back? Let's pump the brakes. It's the Falcons at home. But they did look better. That was a step in the right direction. So
yes, that sure was. Mm-hmm.
Seahawks at Chargers. Ooh, baby, the Seahawks. 4-3 Seahawks. And I'm telling you, I, as a Seattle Seahawks fan, I did not see this coming. I am shocked. I still haven't started to believe until I watched them. Until I watched them this week is when I really started to think maybe we're no joke. And in the NFC, I absolutely think we have a chance to make the playoffs. There's no doubt about it in the NFC that we do. The Hawks are a balanced team right now. Their defense has played much better the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they had 214 rushing yards. Geno Smith hit the passes they need to hit that were clutch to lock in. Metcalf unfortunately left with a calf injury. If he's out for an extended period of time, that kind of hurts. But still, I mean, I just don't. I don't understand where this came from. Geno Smith is playing better than Russ has in the last few years for us. I think, in my opinion,
Yep.
and they just have everyone believing. What do you think about our Hawks?
Oh, I love seeing it. We were kind of hoping for like a bad season so we can have two good picks potentially. But I'm like, well, why not? Why not make a run at the playoffs? Like, do what we've always been doing, make the playoffs, lose one game. I would be fine with that. I'd be happy with that. Well, not happy. Win some playoff games if we're playing this good. Like, we're running the ball good. And you're right. Our defense, I was kind of curious to see what would happen against the Chargers. I know they were out really with Keenan Allen. I know he kind of came back, but he didn't play a whole bunch. Then Mike Williams went down. But they still got weapons, and we did a decent job against them. 23 points for the Chargers. That's it. Man, I would have thought the Chargers would have had 35-40 type of thing, and wasn't even close. So yeah, Seahawks defense is stepping up. They're learning. The young guys are confident and learning and making plays and tackling now. And Walker, man, that dude's a stud. If we would have had Penny and Walker both going at the same time this entire season, that'd have been nice to watch. And hopefully DK. So hopefully this injury bug stuff doesn't hurt the Seahawks. I see that being the only thing that can really potentially slow us down. I mean, why not? NFC West, first place.
First place, baby.
Yep.
Geno had the highest completion percentage in the NFL going into this week, I think. And I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm actually speechless by this team. And it's fun to watch, and good for Pete Carroll and Schneider for keeping this team competitive. I think they're having a lot of fun out there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a diva at quarterback. They're all playing for each other. This rookie class is starting to play better and better. Cross in the O-line and Tariq Woolen, the way he's been playing. And they just had guys up and down there just starting to play better, and they believe. I mean, because they're underdogs. Nobody believes in them. So it's been fun to watch. Go Hawks. Go Hawks. Go Hawks.
And we keep hitting our bets, the bets on the Hawks. We got 2 bets even today.
I believe we're 3-0 total, maybe more on the Seahawks.
I think we're 4-0 total
earlier.
Yeah, and my underdog win at the beginning. Yeah.
Yep, and you know what? I wish we were taking more Seahawks money lines because they were big. But I think the sports books and the odds and everything are going to start adjusting to the Seahawks team. So we'll see if we can get another week or two of good value out of the Seahawks. I think you're going to start seeing a little bit different. So
yeah, I agree.
So we'll see. Chargers, by the way, Mike Williams looks like he's toast for a while. Keenan Allen hurt. Staley's still going to be fired. I'm going to mention it every week. He's going to be fired at the end of the year. They're a disaster. Texans at Raiders. We're not going to talk a lot about this. I bet the Raiders team total over 26.5. At halftime, they had 10. And I wanted to give up on betting altogether because I did not understand it. Derek Carr left, but then he came right back. Jacobs had a ton of rushing yards. They went off in the fourth quarter. They scored 38, won 38-20. Easy win by the end of it. And so that one felt good. I want to get going on team totals a little bit more. It was nice to get that win. What do you think about that game real quick?
I just feel bad for the Texans. I feel like they try hard and play hard, and I like Mills, but they're just not a good football team, and it shows. I mean, every week, they're either close or just get blown out kind of like this. So I just feel bad for the Texans and, that fan base because they're never in it. I mean, they had the few good years with Deshaun Watson, but No, they've never really been in it. They had J.J. Watt, Andre Johnson. They've had guys and just people that you cheer for and root for, and they just don't do anything ever.
Ryan, don't feel bad for them. Okay, they haven't been a team for that long. First of all, and their fan base hasn't been fans of them for long. They suck. They did this themselves. They suck. Nobody wanted to play for them. Deshaun wanted out. The owner was just a mess over there. Dwayne Brown wanted out because of wasn't the owner racist and all these issues they had. I mean, it was ugly over there. So
yeah, I don't know
they
about.
brought this on
Yeah,
themselves.
I'm
Yeah,
not sure. I
they
know
brought this
Dwayne
on
Brown
themselves.
was contract issues at some point in time for Dwayne Brown, but I don't know what else. So
Yeah, that too. But anyways, they're a mess. I don't feel bad for them. Suck it up, you're an NFL team. All right, next up. I'm feeling good tonight if you can't tell. Colts at Titans. F the Colts. F them. Just be done with them. They want to show you a little glimpse of hope with a good O-line play against the Jags, and then they just want to crap themselves against the Titans. They got swept by the Titans this year. They're pathetic. That whole division is pathetic. This doesn't make me think the Titans are a good team. Just throw the entire division out and just send them home. Because I think they all suck. I'm sorry. Matt Ryan has to have everything perfect around him or he is awful. If he has a perfect O-line, people are getting open, then he can play. This is his last year. He's done. The Colts are done. If I ever talk about them again, this is another team, and I think they're on my do not bet list right now. Okay, so I have the Ravens and now the Colts have made the do not bet list, and nobody has done anything to show me otherwise. So remind me, Ryan, the Ravens and Colts are gone
I'll do my
on
best to
betting right
remind
now.
you on that one. Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Any
I,
thoughts on this stupid game?
no, I do think the Titans are actually a decent team in this division. I know you don't totally agree, but they kind of play football kind of like the Giants. They know what they are. They're not, you're over there rolling your head, rolling your eyes, not even caring, not even
They
listening.
suck,
But it's
Ryan. They
real.
suck.
How do they suck? They started the season off with a very tough schedule. They bounced back, and now they've been winning. Isn't that what you're supposed to
They
do in
have
the NFL?
they have no passing game. They got a pick six. They scored like 12 offensive points. They're
You,
not good.
you got to get to the playoffs. That's all you got to do. You just got to get there, right? It's not college football. It's not about style. There's no style points. Get there with your record and see what happens in the playoffs. And that's what this team is doing. They play some defense, as you can see by the 10. They turn around and hand the ball to Derrick Henry, and it works. It gets the job done. They don't want
Yes.
Tannehill to go out there and dominate and,
Yeah,
not win.
they're not terrible. They're scrappy. They're coached well. I'm not saying they're horrendous. They're just not a good football team. This whole division, and they're the best team in the division. It looks like, and they're all just so bad. They're so bad. This could turn on a dime. By the way, this could turn quickly on any of these teams. So that's it. Done with the Colts. Add them to the list. Do not bet. Sunday Night Football. Dolphins Steelers. If you had the over in this game at halftime, you had 26 total points, and you ended with 26 total points. I mean, there was 0 points in the second half. I think it seemed like Tua might have been more of a game manager. They want to make sure, they had a game plan a little bit, and they knew the Steelers weren't going to score a lot of points, and so they played a little more conservative. Our 2 bets on this one, we hit Tyreek over 6.5 catches. He got 7, hit it perfectly. And we lost Claypool by 2 yards. We needed 43. He got 41. That was brutal. End of the game. It happens. Player props have been a little unlucky for us, I would say, but we've also hit some. So you never know. But Pickett had another 3 picks. Pickett has now started his career. Pittsburgh fans, I can't wait for Kenny Pickett. He has 2 TDs and 7 picks. Now who else can't you wait for? This team is a mess. Najee Harris needs to demand a trade. There's nowhere to run on this team because the O-line is horrendous. They are getting close to the Bears on offense. I mean, they are that bad, in my opinion. Do you have any thoughts on this game? I'm fired up tonight, by the way.
I can tell you definitely fired up. No, I agree. The Steelers are playing some bad offense, that's for sure. And it sucks because I do think that these 3 wide receivers are pretty good athletes, good receivers. They could potentially be the best 3 in the league if they had an offensive line and a quarterback that can get them the ball consistently, but that's not the case. So this is what happens. The 3 interceptions for Pickett this time, he was trying to win them the game and get them down the field, so he's trying to make a play, but his last pick was really bad. Has an easy rush for first down. I know the clock's going to keep running, but you can't just throw it right to the Dolphins guys. Like that's a terrible pick. So, yeah, like those 3 receivers, like Najee Harris, and the offensive line is terrible. So, yeah.
You know what? It's not Kenny Pickett's fault because the first 4 letters of his last name are Pick. And so you're just
That's
going
the
to throw
reason.
picks.
That's what's going
You
to
know,
happen.
like, yeah, it's in your DNA. It's in your Donna. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, so Pickett needs to improve, but that whole team's a mess. It's not just a Pickett problem. That team is a mess. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tomlin bails for a better team. We'll see.
Because
Next
he's a good
game,
coach.
Chiefs have 49.
Tomlin,
He's a good coach. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he puts
Yeah.
up with this long. I think he pulls a Doc Rivers in the NBA and tries to only coach talent and nobody else. So we'll get into that in the NBA video, by the way. Doc Rivers is a joke. Okay. Chiefs have 49ers. Holy crap, was this a freaking offensive machine that on the Chiefs side? Juju and MVS both had over 100 yards receiving. Kelsey was only 2 yards away from having 100 himself. Almost 3 guys had 100 yards receiving. Those 3 guys got more receiving yards than the Packers did on offense. But Christian McCaffrey came over. He read the playbook on the plane over, they said, and he played a little bit. He had 8 carries for 38 yards, 2 catches, 24 yards. He was a part of it a little bit. He'll obviously be more a part of this as we get going. Jeff Wilson looked pretty good, which I don't understand still why they gave up so much for a running back when they can make a lot of running backs look good in their scheme, but that's a whole other story. If they want to, as a Seahawks fan, it's nice to see the 49ers and the Rams both not have draft picks at all for like the next couple of years. But yeah, what do you think about this game? They are loaded on offense for the Chiefs.
I think they need to let me know how to fix my box score because I didn't have a big enough box score to fit all those guys in. You didn't even
I
mention
know.
Hardman. He has what 3 touchdowns, and he didn't even make your list. The 3 other guys you were talking about didn't make my list for the box score. Man, these guys got weapons. Andy Reid can really come up with some plays, and Mahomes, he's still special. Nobody talks about him because he just keeps doing what he's been doing. But I think he's even having a better season than Josh Allen, and Josh Allen gets all the talk, which is absolutely crazy because Mahomes is balling still, and he's going to be doing that for quite some time. It doesn't matter if sometimes his technique isn't there. He's just that special, and he can get away with it because he's got weapons, he's got a coach that believes in him, and he's got arm talent. So it's impressive to watch and fun to watch. If you're a Chiefs fan, nice job. You're lucky. Keep enjoying the season.
No, I agree. And if you're just a football fan in general, you're going to look back at this and go, my God, Mahomes and Andy Reid combo is just one of the most exciting, fun, creative, just incredible offenses. I mean, I really do. I really do think they're creative. They change every year. They're I think the best red zone team in the NFL, and that's where all the money's made right there in the red zone. Ask the Broncos and Russell Wilson how good they are in the red zone. And so, I mean, they just have, they have Hardman in motion, just freaking catching these little shovel passes and running to the corner of the front corner of the end zones. I mean, they did that twice. They just have weapons everywhere. And honestly, if you're an average receiver, you become a weapon on this team. They just make you a weapon. They're loaded.
Yeah.
49ers are in trouble. The Hawks are coming. But we'll see as the 49ers get healthy if they can kind of figure it out a little bit. But that was a boat race. Next game, Bucs at Panthers. I don't want to talk much about this. Tom Brady sucks. The offense sucks. Okay, Tom Brady sucks. That's a little much. Their offense sucks. They're missing something. He hit Mike Evans on a deep touchdown to start the game and dropped it. It's a wide open touchdown. Nobody in the field or even near him. I think that changes the whole game if he catches that. But they don't have a running game. They just are missing something. And Brady probably should have came back. He doesn't look awful. Their team just, I mean, what they just did against the Panthers is absolutely inexcusable. Inexcusable. Yeah. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think it's a lot of the O-line. They can't push the ball down the field because they're just they're not able to protect Tom Brady, and then he can't run away from it because it's Tom Brady. He's 45, and who expects him to do that? But a lot of their offenses get the ball down the field, and they can't do that. So they try and maybe hit guys underneath and have them be explosive after the catch, and that's not happening. So it just turns into a long game, a lot of punts, things like that. and it's no good. So you use 32 completions and 290 yards for Tom Brady and no touchdowns. It's just like that's kind of boring. But amazing job, Panthers. Way to scrap and fight and win. You trade a guy in Robbie Anderson, you trade Christian McCaffrey to the Niners, and you still come out and beat the Buccaneers. That's impressive. Good job. Way to go.
No, I agree. They look like they played hard. I mean, that game meant a lot more to them than it did the Bucs. So
Yeah.
good win by them. I make fun of the Panthers all the time. That was a good win. The Bucs are average. They're just average.
Yep.
So let's go Packers at Commanders. 23-21, the Commanders won this one.
Oh, I didn't know. I have the wrong score on the box score, so don't look at that, fellas. Sorry about that for everybody that's watching.
Yeah, don't look at the box score. Okay, we put a lot of effort into it. That's okay. We're allowed a mistake. But it was 23-21 Packers. The Packers again are stupid. Okay, I've already talked about their GM and everything. Let's talk about their head coach. They ran the ball 12 times. Please make me understand. If you are a Packers fan watching this, make me understand. In a game where the game script was perfect for running the ball, is their O-line just that bad and they can't get enough good plays with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, two of the most talented running backs in the league, and they run it 12 times and have Aaron Rodgers throw it a ton with no weapons on the outside? Make me understand this, because I am not working for a football team. I like to think I know something about football, not as much as these guys. Can you explain this to me, Ryan, as to what's going on in Green Bay?
I think it's we still have Aaron Rodgers, so let's do this. Let's hit a chunk play, let's hit a big play, because we can't try and keep doing short runs and getting stopped and just sticking with it like the Giants, the Titans, and teams like that, because it kind of gets boring. Well, when you got Aaron Rodgers, let's not do that. Let's mix it up. Let's hit a big play. And like we already said, he's just not doing it, not trusting the whole line, not trusting his receivers. So it's just another 3 and out. Quick punt type of situation, and then you get a low scoring game and not in it. You're right. They need to just turn around and hand the ball to A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones. They did throw the ball to Aaron Jones quite a bit, which is good. So it's good getting him the ball, but not enough.
Thank you for saying that. Did you see his catch?
That was impressive.
He had a nice catch for a touchdown. We said this at the beginning of the year, okay? We are two average Joe Blows here. It seems obvious. These are two of the most talented offensive weapons you have. You need to use them both. We mentioned having Aaron Jones be a slot receiver, line up on the outside sometimes so he can beat some guys. I don't understand at all why there's no creativity, no motion, no getting him involved, having split backfield where Aaron Jones can be a receiver, A.J. Dillon can be your running back. Maybe you mix it up just so you're not predictable. I don't understand it.
There's so much you can do. You can have them both split in the backfield and then motion Aaron Jones out to the slot. A whole bunch of stuff, and it's not what they're doing. They're like, nah, let's do what we've been doing. It's been working. Yeah, 3 straight L's. That's what's been going on.
Yeah. Or you could, even running the ball from there. Like you have the linebackers and defensive line looking at Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, thinking, I don't know who's going to get the ball
right
out of these two guys. You don't even know what's happening. So the whole thing is a mess in Green Bay. It is what it is. Heineke's fun to watch, by the way. Not an elite quarterback, but he's fun to watch. He plays hard. He has passion. It's pretty cool. So the Commanders, by the way, ran it 35 times this game to the Packers 12. Just wanted to say that. All right, here we go. Last couple games. Lions, Cowboys. Ugly, ugly, ugly. You want to talk about a fan base that is struggling. You feel bad for the Texans fan base. Does it get worse in all professional sports than a Detroit Lions fan?
You're right. You got me there. You definitely got me there.
No, it's not even close. They're horrendous. They're 1-5. Their defense actually played well finally, but then it didn't matter because their offense could do nothing. And I know the Cowboys are one of the defenses in the league. I get that. Dak came back today, seemed like more of a game manager, and they just ran the ball. This score was not quite indicative of how the game was. This was a 1-score game in the fourth quarter.
No, that was weird. There's a lot of teams that just kind of run out the clock and sit at the 2-yard line or 3-yard line, fall down, let the clock run out. No, the Cowboys scored 2 more touchdowns. What are you guys doing?
Turnovers.
The turnovers.
Part of that. That's why.
Yeah.
And the Lions had 5 turnovers that game. Is that right?
Yeah, 5 team total turnovers. Yeah, it was ugly, and they were down both their main weapons, the running back and their wide receiver. So that definitely hurt them.
It's getting worse and worse. Jared Goff better start winning, or they're going to have a top 1 or 2 pick. And they're going to be getting a quarterback, and they're going to be toast. So, and this is don't get me wrong, this is not a team that is a quarterback away from being really good. This team, Dan Campbell was just pissed. Jamal Williams fumbled the ball as they're going into the end zone, which could have changed the game. Just lying things. I know because I'm a Mariner fan. This is what Mariners fans have dealt with. We've crossed the threshold. Lions aren't even close. They're back to a rebuild. It's ugly. So, Cowboys offense, be happy that you're winning, Cowboy fans, and that you're relying on defense because it is a great defense. Your offense still sucks. I mean, it's just
figure it out.
good.
It's because they have no weapons on the outside. Like, it's awesome they have a running game.
Whoa.
What? What are you going to say?
CeeDee Lamb is a very good receiver.
Weapon.
He is a top-tier receiver. Yes.
Okay, one weapon. We've talked about it. You need like 2 or 3 to really be special in this league, or this is what happens.
I disagree with you on that one because Schultz has been hurt off and on, and that's hurt, but he was a top 3 tight end last year. Their O-line is not good, and Dak Prescott is not a good enough quarterback. We've talked about this. At the beginning of his career, he had one of the most elite offensive lines in NFL in the last 20, 30 years, and that makes any quarterback look better. Now that they are average, we're realizing that he is an average quarterback. So, anyways, enough of that. Browns at Ravens. Ravens of the 23-20 victory because of the Browns' missed field goal at the end of the game. It was a long one. I'm not happy with Gus Edwards because I started Kenyon Drake and I didn't pay attention enough to know that Gus Edwards was back from the ACL. Congratulations. It's been like 15 years, it seems like. 66 yards. There's something wrong in Baltimore. Don't get too excited about this win. Lamar Jackson was 9 for 16. 9. He completed 9 more passes than I did today. That's it. Think about that. Their passing game is struggling. I don't know if Lamar's really showing enough to deserve a max contract. I've been saying this before. I was kind of on board where you have to give Lamar that deal because there's just no other more explosive quarterbacks out there. But I don't know, man. I don't know if you dedicate 30, 35 million a year to somebody who sometimes has games where he completes 10 passes. I mean,
30 to
he's
35
not running as much.
30 to 35 million a year is a good or a decent contract for a quarterback. That's not what the top guys are getting. So I think the Ravens can get 40
that now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're closer to 40, 45, stuff like that. So 30, he ain't looking for that.
Would you pay him?
Man,
otherwise, you start with a brand new quarterback.
At the beginning of the season, oh heck yeah! I think there's something else going on. I think there's an injury, a hip or something like that that's going on that's really hurting him, and he's not doing what he needs to do, and maybe trying to make some business decisions. I hope that's not the case because I do have him on my fantasy team, and it's been a struggle the last few weeks. But I think something's going on.
Here's the deal with that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
No, finish. Okay, here's the deal. When you give him a contract. You know that injuries are going to be a part of that, though, because he's not going to be running for 100 yards a game for the next 5 years. Like he has to protect his body, or he's not going to make it for real. So I just think that's a part of it. I wouldn't. I know it sucks. I'm not saying there's a better option out there, but you have a better chance of becoming a better football team when you're not paying $40 million to one guy who is a hit and miss quarterback, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a tough situation that they're in. I think the other thing that hurts them is they don't really have weapons on the outside. I mean, they have the tight end Andrews, and that's about it as far as weapons. So that's really hard to see what he can do. What if he had, great wide receivers? He just doesn't. So I think that hurts him.
I think you're right on part of that. I've seen enough of him to know that he still misses wide open guys, and it doesn't matter if that guy that's wide open is elite or not. He still misses them, but. He's a good player. Listen, he's not bottom tier or anything. It's just when you're talking about $40 million a year, you got to really think about it. So, last game, Jets at Broncos. Ooh, doggy, is this a fun one to talk about? 16-9. The Jets, Jets, Jets. 5-2 New York Jets, I mind you. There's 12 punts in this game, as you wanted to let me know before this video. Should we analyze the punts? Great punting.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They could have been the MVPs of the game.
That's true. There was a team that just paid their kicker. I think it was the Lions. They paid their punter, and they made him the highest paid punter. when you suck like the Lions and you make your punter the highest paid punter, it's just not pretty. It's just not pretty. Big story out of this game: Breece Hall left, and last I heard, there's a chance it's a torn ACL, which sucks. I mean, that just sucks. What do you think about this Jets team?
I don't think they're for real as the Giants. I think they're finding ways to win just because the teams that they're playing just kind of made some mistakes and let them win the game. When you punt the ball, I think they punted 8 times and the Broncos punted 6. When you punt the ball 8 times, that's not a recipe
That's
for winning
14 total,
games.
by the way.
Oh,
That's
my bad.
14 total.
Yeah, I don't know then. I might have gave you the wrong stat somewhere along the line, but it was a lot of punts. I know that. I do know the
Yeah.
Broncos have a good defense, but I mean, Zach Wilson has just not been very impressive. Hasn't made crucial, terrible plays as far as interceptions or fumbles, but to win close games against elite teams, you can't be playing that type of football. 121
Yeah.
yards, yeah, and
I
without Hall
agree.
now.
Oh, if they lose Hall, they're in trouble because this guy's a very talented running back, as you've been seeing. He had, what was it, 4 carries, 72 yards, just in 4 carries? He's good. Okay, I had a lot of sports going on today. We had baseball playoffs. We had NBA, put out some bets for that, and then we had NFL Sunday. If you can't tell, I just got a lot of emotion going on to watch these sports. And I got one more for you. What the frick is the Broncos head coach doing? I say this every single week. What is he doing? They threw it 46 times. Think about that.
Maybe he forgot Russ wasn't
46
playing.
times. I think
Like-
he did, which is still bad. But Brett Rippon, the nephew of Mark Rippon, was your quarterback. And what's a coach's job? Ask Belichick, ask all these guys. You want your guys in the best position to win. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
Did they actually come with the game plan that said, I think the only way we beat the Jets is if we throw it almost 50 times with Brett Rippon? I don't freaking get it. I know Javonte Williams is hurt. Be creative with your running game and figure out other ways. I don't understand what they're doing. Nathaniel Hackett is a hack. Again, first 4 letters, hack. There's a reason for that. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing. This team is awful. It doesn't matter if Russ is quarterback, if someone else is quarterback. They have a top 5, top 10 playoff type defense and a bottom 5 offense. And that's got to be so irritating for those. Got to be. That's just my thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a guy that knows nothing about football. Maybe I don't. Maybe these guys know exactly what they're doing, and they're setting all these teams up to run it 50 times later this year. I don't know.
No, I don't think that's the case. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall and heard that conversation. Our backup should throw it 50 times a game or this game. That's definitely gonna work. Like
it doesn't.
Yeah, if you start to
It makes
lose,
no sense.
you're playing the Jets and they have 16 points
Yeah.
and they've punted a whole bunch. Like, you're not out of the game. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Turn around and run the
There-
football some.
Exactly. And there's nothing that either team did that says, I'm going to take you out of your game plan now because there's low scoring. Do whatever you want. Be creative. Do something different. They struggle, and I can't. We'll never know the answer, but I can't imagine the Broncos are struggling to score only because of like the players on their roster. I have a hard time believing that it's just that, because I don't think their offensive roster is like bottom 5 in the NFL at all. There's just no way.
Right.
I don't understand it. But anyways,
I loved when they were talking
Denver fans.
back at during the preseason, like they were just a quarterback away. Now they're going to be, winning the AFC West potentially, playoffs, deep run, Super Bowl. And here they are doing nothing. It's a
They're
joy.
still a quarterback away and a head coach away.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations, Broncos. You are now 2-5, and you don't have a first or second round pick for like the next 2 years. So, and you lost, and you gave about $250 million to a quarterback. Anyways, other than that, you're doing great. So, that's week 7. I mean, leave some comments. I just feel like there's some stupidity going on. But betting wise and the NFL, it is tough right now, guys. You got to be careful. You got to really make sure you're not just betting every single game just to bet it. Me and Ryan are trying to work on that ourselves, making sure we're not, betting too much. We try to give you guys primetime bets on Instagram. for Sunday night, Monday night games, just because it's the only game and we got to have some fun. But just be careful how you bet it. These teams are really inconsistent. Try to find some trends that work in your favor. Check injury reports, all that kind of stuff. So it's been a lot of fun through week 7, up over 5 units. Hopefully we keep this grind going because the grind is the funnest part, in my opinion. So with that, again, World Series preview video coming the next couple days. I got a couple guys coming on. It's going to be a lot of fun. NBA Week 1 video. We haven't talked enough about the NBA and what we've seen. Again, beginning of that season, that's a crazy. Hornets beat the Hawks today pretty easily. There's weird stuff happening everywhere. It's sports. It's what makes sports so awesome, and it's also what makes betting so hard. So that's the deal. Monday Night Football, Bears at Patriots. I'm sorry, I can't spend a lot of time on this game. It's the freaking Bears at Patriots. I think Mac Jones is questionable. Might play, might not. Bailey Zappi's been pretty good. Patriots -8, over under 40.5. I lean Patriots -8. I think they run all over them, and I think they just control the line of scrimmage. Fields will probably complete about 11 passes and throw 3 picks. That's just kind of my guess. So I lean the Patriots -8, but we'll have a bet coming out for Instagram probably. If we like something enough, we will come out with an Instagram bet tomorrow night for that game. So any last thoughts, Ryan, after I'm done ranting and raving today?
Yeah, I'm gonna build you a soapbox in my backyard. I'm gonna build you a soapbox so that way when we go on these rants, or when you go on these rants, I can prop you up on a soapbox and you can spit your knowledge for everybody and be like, yeah, my time right now. Listen to me on my soapbox.
I agree. Yeah, and we're gonna get some graphics and music because we need to have a whole segment when I'm on my soapbox. And maybe I need to stand up. I don't know. Something needs to happen. Something different. I need to get it all out. So that's where we're at. Thanks for everybody for watching. All the subscribers, all the followers, and the podcast apps, YouTube, everything. It's a very busy time. We got our real lives that we're trying to mix with this. So be patient with us on the schedule. But we're trying to get as much content out as we can, and we do a lot of work and research for you guys. So that's it. That's all I got. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good one.